going to bring on three amazing new All-Stars. These are brand new All-Stars that have never been in All-Stars before this, and I can't wait for them to share their stories with you. So we're going to bring them on. Welcome, Michele Munroe. Everybody say hello to Michele. Welcome, Trayshawn. Good to see you also. How are you both?
Good.
Awesome. Good. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and mute Trayshawn for just 1 second. And then let's see, actually, JK, Trayshawn, you're up first. And then when Nicky joins us, we're going to have her go next. So, Trayshawn, I have a question for you. Where were you at in your life before you came into my world? What was wrong? What were you struggling with?
Wow. Okay, so right before you sent out the invite, the event was called What Happens When People Say No. About a month prior, I had got let go from my nanny position. It had ended. And I kind of just didn't know what was going on because I had made a commitment to be with this family for a year. And then things changed with the family. And it was just like, I was just thrown out there. And I was just like, again, another disappointment. And I had put all this money with this business coach that was going to help me with my coaching business. And maybe about a week into that program, I realized I had been, like, I felt for the shiny things all over again. And I was just like, God, answer me. I need something. You know the desires of my heart. You know I just want to do something that brings me life, something that brings me joy. But when it came to the business of in-home daycare or in-home preschool, I was just like kind of tainted just from past experiences and working here in a new state. I didn't know people here. I just had all these negative thoughts about, I don't know people here. I don't know people here. And I ended up coming in contact with you again. And I was just like, oh, this is my answer. This is God answering my prayer. And it was literally the next day.
The next day? I love that. That's awesome.
And I had joined the group last August. So like you said, it was a ghost town. I hadn't heard anything. So the fact that I got the invite the same night, the same day I decided, okay, I'm just going to do it. You know, I was just like, I'm just going to do it. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it. You know,
yeah.
So it was totally divine.
Oh, I totally believe that too. That's amazing. Okay, so, but wait, you did not jump into the challenge in October though.
No, I did not. I don't know if I didn't see it. If it just, I don't know why.
No worries.
I think I still had more internal work to do, like with my belief in myself. And sure. I needed to experience those things that I experienced from October to March.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, we're going to bring Nicky on. Just 1 second. Nicky Ray, we're going to bring you on too. Is that cool? Can we bring you on? Thumbs up if yes. Okay, awesome. Cool. Okay, I'm going to mute you though. There we go. Now that we're on here, this is so fun. Little party. Okay, cool. Okay, so back to Trayshawn. So you had just moved California, right? To a different state. Yeah. And you were worried, like, you had higher rates in California and like, could you really charge higher rates where you're at? You're worried like, oh man, I don't want to do it for so little. Yeah.
Yes. Because I felt like it was not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Because I was just telling myself all these negative things like, oh, I had 12 hours in California. Even though I had moved from daycare to preschool, I still had one family that I was just completely loyal to. She was a single mom. She needed to drop her daughter off at 5:15. So I changed the hours, but she was still coming. So I burnt myself out. So I was still like stuck on there. Like, I can't dictate my own hours. People here, there's just a bunch of negative things going on in my mind.
No, definitely. And it's that like scary spot of like, but if I lose that person, then how do I replace the income? Right. So now we're in a tricky spot,
especially because I knew that I still had to do a lot of the business building. And I didn't want to waste my time with that. Like websites, marketing. I did it before when I was like on maternity leave. Yeah. So I had nothing but time to start my business. But now time is money. And I need everything now.
Yes. Okay, so you came into our world and then you started the challenge. Now we do have a different model where it's like, you know, we do part-time preschool and you were going to do this full-time preschool program. So it's different. That's okay. Yes. But you learned something through there about your value and how you could charge more. So help us like learn, like, what did you discover about yourself through this process?
I discovered that I had the power to create what I wanted to create. when you told the story about that picture of you on the lake and how you had to do a value assessment, I did a value assessment right there. I realized that in the past I was chasing the wrong things, and I kind of just started to picture my life. And it just became so clear to me. And it was like, whatever, I don't know where I'm going to get the money from this space. I don't know where I'm going to get the money for Preschool All-Stars or the hub. I didn't have any money. I quit the daycare job that I worked at. I got a stomach virus, and I was just like, I'm in it. What did you say? You had to burn your ships?
Burn the boats.
You burn the boats. I was just like, I trust God. I'm just going to do it because I felt already. I know what it's like to do this thing by myself, right? And I'm like, this is this amazing community. Just the group that the free group, the pre-challenge was what really did it for me. So when the challenge came, I was already committed. Like, yeah, I'm in this for the long haul. I didn't post my founding script that Friday because I manifested the money, and I was like, okay, I have to get prepared because I knew costs were going to start coming in. People are going to start booking tours. I'm going to be prepared because I'm ready to go. So
yes. Oh, I love that. And so you decided to put a certain tuition next to your value. I mean, that isn't that hard to be like, what am I worth? Like, I literally have to put a dollar amount to my worth.
Yes. Yes. When you said to picture what you wanted, that very next day, I went and toured several preschools. I toured several preschools just to see what they were offering, what the competition was, and knowing what I did in the past, what I have vision for myself. And I said, if they can charge this, and the ones that I worked at were charging this, that I'm not going to waver. She says it's too low. I'm just going to, that's one no that's going to be closer to my yes. But she was like, oh, yes, we can do that. And it was $1,100. And a part of me was going to start saying, oh, let me just put it to just 1,000 because maybe that's just, and I said, no, it's 1,100. I'm not going to waver. And she said, okay, we're going to sign up.
That's amazing. $1,100 in 1 week. You're amazing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. The energy of the group, everyone in the group, it has been amazing. I've been in memberships before where I've paid thousands of dollars and people come in with these big promises. And you said from the beginning, this isn't some get rich quick thing. And I was just like, I like her. Because some people, they will tell you that. If anything, you downplay it.
Yeah.
Because the hub alone, $67 a month. When you did the little preview last night, I said, oh, let me get my card right now. I missed the sign up for Preschool All-Stars that night because I fell asleep. But that last night, the membership, the hub, and the registration and all this stuff that you don't have to use your mind space. You don't have to, you can use that mind space to prepare yourself daily for accomplishing your vision and what you want. Not the technical stuff. Yes, I know how to do it, but I don't want to burn myself out like I did in California, right? That hub is worth thousands of dollars. And I'm so happy that you downplay it because I was kind of like burnt out with people giving me all these big promises and it was just like under deliver. I'd rather you under promise and over deliver than sell me all these dreams. Like totally, like get the hub, sign up for All-Stars, get the hub, get the preschool in the box. And then she put it down to 4 payments. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm getting it. Because I try to tell myself all these reasons why I didn't need it. Well, you've done this before. You know how to do this. You got your old policies. I don't want to worry about that. I just want to come in, love on the kids, teach, be a mom, and eventually outsource everything. I want to hire someone else to come in and teach the kids for the afternoon class. Right? You know, so yeah.
You're awesome. So if you had to say anything to anyone who's still on the fence, what would you say to them?
I'm not sure if someone has said it before, but if you don't have $97, that's more of a reason why you should. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job when I started this challenge. I quit the job that I started working at. They were only paying me $14.50 an hour for 4.5 days, 3 days a week. I didn't have any money. I have bills due just like everyone else. I'm a single mom just like everyone else. But you have to believe it in the mind. You have to cut out all of the negative words, The people, like she said, they're going to try to say things to you. Don't talk to them. Only talk to people that have what it is that you want to accomplish, and you will go so much further. You have to keep your visions, and you have to cherish them like they're a newborn baby. But it all starts
so awesome.
mind. And this amazing group, like there is no drama in Preschool All Stars. It is just love. It's just support. It's not a lot of heavy energy. It's people coming and saying, hey, I need some help. And then everybody's just swarming in there, giving that advice. And it's just like, and it's only been like 3 days I've been in there. The vibe is amazing. You have to love it. Because you don't
You're the best.
Yeah, August. I could have jump kicked this in August if it was open to me then, if I was ready. You know, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So it's not by any mistake that you have come across Miss Joy, right? Do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt whatever higher power you believe in. The time is now. The money will come. There is an abundance of money in the world. Turn off the news. Get off social media, go stand outside, put your feet in the trees and try to count how many leaves is on a tree. You can't. And that is how much abundance is in the world, right? And you have to invest in yourself. How will anyone ever want to invest in your business if you don't believe that you're worth it? So yes, that's all I have to say about that. You have to do it.
I could like listen to you for hours. It's like everything I believe. And I'm like, yes, like I love it. Girl, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic for a second. Yes. Okay. So what we can do is you are welcome to bounce out or you can stay. Next up, we're going to go to our Nicky Ray. Go ahead and I just unmuted you. So that sounds good. Nicky, where were you before you found me? Like, what were you struggling with?
I ran into you last year, actually. It was laying in bed. I didn't want to watch TV. I was on my phone and I was scrolling and I saw this post that said, "This is why I don't like daycares." And I'm like, huh? Like who, like who just says that? Like, why do you don't like daycares? Because I worked in daycares like for a few years. When I was living in Georgia and even tried to do it while I was in Illinois. So I'm like, why you don't like daycares? I raised my kids in daycare. Daycares is cool. And then I started reading. I read the whole post and why, and then your name came up in the book. I immediately ordered your book that day.
Yeah.
And then I got the book, I got to read, and I found out about the challenge, just how we did this year. I went through everything and I jumped in and I went, and then things started happening in my life and I stopped. And I felt so bad because I'm like, you know better than this. You know you can do this. But I don't want to waste nobody's time. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. This isn't my time yet. And I kept saying that to myself. And I think I've posted where we can be our own worst enemies. We, just the things that we say about ourselves. We don't need nobody else to say it. We can say it to ourselves that, what you can't do. And your mind just gets so bogged down with things and you let it be. And that's what I did. I canceled I was a preschool all-star for a minute and I canceled that. And I did a lot of things that I wish I hadn't have. And then you showed back up and it was like, okay, now. That's how I felt. I felt like you were saying to me like, okay, now I'm back. What we going to do? And that's why on Monday, I was one of the first 100.
Well, hold up, because here's the thing. You came back and you started doing the challenge for like what, a day or two?
I did, and then
posted. Do you remember this? Do you remember my comment? Okay. So my girl Nicky, and this is why I know my Nicky Ray. Okay.
I pulled it up actually because I did. I fell into that moment again where I was like, maybe this ain't the time yet because maybe I don't have this, I don't have that, and maybe I shouldn't. And I did. I left y'all a really nice note that said, y'all are wonderful because y'all are. I'll be back in October. I just knew I was going to be back in October. So you said to me, and I quote, "Never give up before the fight has already started." Yeah. And I said, well, I'll be. You're right. She right. It's not about conquering the fear. It's just about working through it. And that's it. And that's why from that point on, I continued on with the journey. And now I will say, I did not post my script just yet because I don't know what to say when they ask me about it and they're giving me money. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to give you? But I'm in here so that I can finish that up and get my script,
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Nikki. I'm like on my way out to go serve Preschool All-Stars. I'm not going to be mincing words here anymore. Like, I speak with love always, but I also speak bluntly sometimes. Okay. So when I see somebody in the group, and this was not Nikki, when I see somebody in the group, like, it just wasn't meant to be, and then they just have kind of like a different like mindset about like, I'm just going to kind of like work on things on my own, and I've been working on this for like years, so I'm just going to keep working on it. And then, like, to me, that's like, I don't know how I can even help you because you don't want to be helped. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some people who have such a fixed mindset about things. They're like, it doesn't matter what I say, how many gazillion times I try to help, like how many things I offer you. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So like for some people, I'm like, hang around and keep please just listening to me. So hopefully something can help. But like when I saw your post, Nikki, I was like, there is a girl who wants to change, but she is just fearful she isn't enough. Like, she is ready to do the work, and she has been doing the work, which is different than some other people who did nothing. And I'm saying there's a girl who like literally wants this, but at the end of the day, she just feels, she sees other people and she's comparing. And like, I'm like, oh, I can help her. Like, that's why I'm like, Nikki, no, don't give up. So I'm glad that you heard my love coming through that post. Okay. And I'm glad that you said, yeah, get rid of those voices, like focus back on, let's keep going. Okay. So
I got the blinders on.
Yeah, put the blinders on. Exactly. Okay. You jumped into All-Stars after you had left previously. So you were a previous All-Star. You left for a bit because life got a little bit tough and stuff. I'm going to ask you this, Nikki. What's going to be different this go around? How are you going to strengthen your mindset to prepare you when, because things will get rough, period. I mean, I can't control your life. I can't, so things are going to get rough, period. But like, how are you going to protect your mindset?
Well, I am a true believer that God has his hand in all of this. And it's a reason why you came back into my life at this time. It is time. I'm in a different, like for me, I just turned 40 in December. My youngest is getting ready to graduate from high school. My oldest is in the Marines. Like, I'm an empty nester. And it's like, what you gonna do? You're not happy where you at. And you know that I loved being in preschool, teaching preschool. I loved it. Like, it was amazing to me because I'm a part of the growth of this young child. And they actually want to learn from me. They actually want to be around me. They're happy when they see me. Like, that's the best feeling ever. And then to be able to do something like this, I'm like, okay, you're getting another opportunity to do it. What really is stopping you other than you? Move out the way. Look, move you out the way as soon as you can do what it is that you need to do. And that's where I'm at. I just have to be, stay strong in my faith, stay strong and make sure my mind is clear of all the naysayers. Because it is, like you said, there's going to be people that's going to say, you sure that's going to work? I don't think they're going to. How are you going to, all the ones that don't do it, that don't understand how it works, they're going to have a lot to say about why you shouldn't. And you have to just block it out and just ask God to just, let me hear what I need to hear. Please block out what I don't so that I can do this, because this right here in my life right now where I'm at is where I am supposed to be.
That is perfect. You are amazing. Oh my gosh. If there was anything that you want to say to anybody who's still on the fence, hasn't joined All-Stars yet, what would you say to them?
This is jumping season. Just jump. It's not going to hurt. Like they said before, what is the worst part of and actually there's no worst part of it. I mean, like the only part of it is the money that's keeping you from doing this, but will you go buy that pair of shoes? It's gonna take you a couple of places, but you have to walk in them to do it, right? But
Mhm.
this is gonna take you a longer way, and it's something that you know that you can do. You can do it. You can. So why not? Come on with us. Just come on. Come on. I'm
Yes.
telling you, this is the best group I've ever been in ever in my life. They are so, I mean, the love is there for real. Like I felt so much love from everybody, even even in that moment when I was having that spawn down moment, and people I don't even know, they took the time out to say, hey, you can do this, don't give up, come on, let's go. What else
You're
can you do but to come on? So you
good.
can do it. We got
Thank
you.
you. Yes, we do. Nikki, you're awesome. Thanks so much, friend. I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic, and then you can
All
hang
right,
out or you
thank
can
you.
bounce.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. So that was amazing. Michele, we're over to you, girl. Okay, I just unmuted you. So thanks for hanging. Where were you before you came into my world? What were you struggling with?
So I have been running We Wise Ones Family Childcare for 13 years, since 2009, when my daughter was 3, and I quickly burned out. So I actually increased my license at that time, because in Massachusetts, you have to be licensed for any children. And I hired an assistant, but I was still burnt out. So we're very limited on how many children we could take. So I was trying to think outside the box, and come up with ideas of how I could decrease my stress and increase my income.
Yes.
And I ended up coming out with the idea. I did a lot of research and found some loopholes in the regulations in Massachusetts.
Love it.
So I was actually able to start 2 in-home childcares in 2 separate locations.
Nice.
And I figured I'd take on more of a director role. I hired 5 teachers, which was great at first, until people started calling out and quitting, and I couldn't be out of ratio, and I couldn't be in 2 places at once. So my stress actually went up quite a bit. So at that point in time, I said, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
We sold our house. We moved about 25 minutes away, and we bought a raised ranch. So the whole first floor all daycare, and upstairs was our living space.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, my assistant came with me. So I was licensed for 10 again. During COVID, she retired. So I had to decrease my license at that point in time. And I said, I'm burnt out. I don't want to do this anymore. Started looking for different types of jobs. Because I had been self-employed for so long, nobody wanted to hire me.
Yep.
Even though I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. I've been running a business forever. I felt like I was very qualified for a lot of the positions I was applying for. But because I didn't have references, I had a really hard time getting a job anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
COVID hit, daycares were shut down. My husband ended up breaking his leg in June of 2020 and was out of work for 6 months. So I actually figured, all right, this is my opportunity to get out of daycare and go really search for something else. So I went back to working at a group home for kids in DCF custody that I had worked at prior to doing daycare, and realized I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to go back to doing something for myself, because it wasn't worth the money or the time. So once daycares opened back up, I continued with daycare. But at that point in time, I figured I'm going to try and tweak this, because I kept shortening my hours. I shortened them in the morning, shortened them at night, and just kind of kept doing that, and figured, all right, I'm gonna not take infants anymore. I'm really going to start trying to turn this more into a preschool. And that was before I'd even seen your ads or had anything, any information on your program.
Yeah.
So I had dropped the family childcare and added preschool to the end of my name. But at that time, I was offering full day preschool with the option of a morning class.
Sure.
That was last year. That was my first attempt at that, and I had 1 child that signed up for that.
Yeah.
So that didn't really go too well.
Right.
The daycare was full, but everybody wanted full hours.
Yep.
And I was getting burnt out again. So I found your ads somewhere in January or February. And before I had even really looked into them, I had seen the graphics for the founding family script. And I thought, I'm going to try that. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to go on Canva and make my own little graphic. And I did that. And I posted that on a few local sites and started advertising for next year for just preschool hours. And I didn't really put that I was a daycare prior, and I just kind of played it off like, oh, we've been doing
You've
preschool
taught children for years.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, in reality, I am doing the exact same thing. I'm just shortening the day. I'm cutting out nap time and snack, and that's it.
Totally.
So, I from just that fake founding family graphic, I got 3 signups at that point in time for next year.
That's awesome.
So I still had one or two spots to fill. And then I didn't know how to post the founding family script during the challenge because I was pretty much full already for next year. But I wanted to make the most out of the challenge. So I thought, how do I do this and not sound like I'm being ingenuine or sneaky? Because some people already know that I've, been doing this program. Right. And I didn't want the people that had already signed up to be like, what's going on? She knew. I thought she had been doing this forever. Yeah. So I added a Friday class, and I thought, well, it's going to be really hard to fill that 1 day a week class for 2.5 hours a day. Yeah. It's half full. I already have 4 signups for that class. I only have 2 spots left.
That's awesome.
So then I went and I posted my founding family fundraiser script. And the way that my license works in Massachusetts, I can have up to 8 kids, but 2 of them have to be 5 or older. So filling those last 2 spots to try and find 2 kids who turn 5 in September is difficult. Sure. Yeah. So I took one of those spots and I offered it as the fundraiser spot and said, if anybody has a child that's turning 5 in September and wants the spot, contact me. I figured if I get any bites off of that, hopefully I'll fill the second spot with the people who don't end up winning the scholarship. So we'll see, because I figured I probably would have a really tough time filling those spots either way. So I don't even mind not getting any donations and giving that spot away just for the marketing to pull in names of people who might be looking for a spot for a child at that age anyway, which I already know I'm going to get donations anyway, because I've already had my donation thing is not like I can't accept donations yet. Yeah. I've already had people contacting me saying, how can I donate, right? How can I donate? You posted this.
That's awesome.
You any money. So yeah,
that's great. Holy cow, that is amazing. So you were able to get 4 kiddos signed up for just a Friday only morning class. I love that. So let me ask you this. You jumped into Preschool All-Stars. You already had an existing preschool. So let me ask you, was it worth it? Do you feel that Preschool All-Stars is only for newbies and beginners, or can Preschool All-Stars and Preschool in a Box and Hub serve you an existing preschool business?
Yes, definitely. Because it, one, gives me the motivation to push through the fear of, oh, nobody's going to want this. Oh, everybody wants full days. Everybody knows me as a daycare. It keeps me motivated to actually work towards what I want to do. But it also helps me think outside the box. I've always tried to think outside the box with, finding those graphics and, looking for the loopholes in the system to try and make my life easier. But I feel like I don't have to search so far for those ideas, because I'd never heard of online preschool. I'd never heard of a micro school. So already just from the free challenge, I've heard terms and concepts that I wouldn't have thought of, or if I had found them, it would have been years down the road. So yeah, the marketing tips. I didn't know about how Facebook algorithms worked or anything like that. So yes, it's, just for that and the support of, the other All-Stars, it's worth it. Awesome. And I figured even just if I had only gotten 1 sign up for the Friday class, that would have been $120 a month for me. That more than covers the subscription for All-Stars. So I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't done the training anyway. I wouldn't have had that class. So it's worth it.
You are awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. I can't wait to see where your journey takes you.
Thank you.
If you love today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools, have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories, so you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.